ready to go from chaotic, reactive energy to unbothered, empowered queen. In this video, I'm going to share exactly how you can master your emotions, stop reacting impulsively, and take control of your life. If you're tired of letting your emotions dictate your decisions and energy, keep on watching. So if you're tired of feeling stuck in the cycle of victimhood, constantly reacting to everything around you, it's time to break free from the damsel in distress mindset and step into the powerful, unbothered woman you are meant to be. In this video, we'll explore the emotional and spiritual journey of transforming from victim to the empowered woman, how to heal your wounded feminine energy, stop the emotional manipulation, and reclaim your personal power. The damsel in distress archetype is a woman who feels like life is happening to her. She has surrendered her power, seeking validation from others, and constantly feeling overwhelmed by circumstances. The victim mentality is rooted in low self-worth and unresolved childhood trauma, keeps her trapped in a cycle of emotional manipulation and drama. But here's the truth. Every woman has experienced this at some point, including myself. The key to breaking free is emotional mastery. It's about learning how to stop reacting from a place of fear and start responding from a place of power. As women, tapping into our feminine power requires emotional mastery. When we stop letting emotions control us, we step into our highest potential. I'm here to help you learn how to stay calm, centered, and empowered, no matter what life throws in your way. If this resonates with you, make sure to subscribe and check out my Goddess Abundance Reset program for more support on your journey. Emotional mastery isn't about being emotionless. It's about learning how to control your emotions, stop reacting impulsively, and taking back your power. In this section, we'll talk about what exactly emotional mastery is and why it's so important, and how it can help you become the empowered woman you are meant to be. Emotions are powerful. They influence on how we behave, react to situations, and interact with others. Without emotional mastery, you'll constantly feel at the mercy of your emotions, leading to reactive behavior, strained relationships, and a loss of personal power. This is why mastering your emotions is key to living a life of empowerment, self-control, and fulfilling relationships. If you want to truly master your emotions, there's one essential trait that you need to develop, and that is self-awareness. Self-awareness is one of the most powerful tools you can have to elevate your life and become the best version of yourself. It's the foundation of emotional intelligence. Think about it. If you can't recognize and understand your own emotions, behaviors, and thoughts, how can you take control of your life? So many people go through life on autopilot, letting their emotions control them instead of the other way around. They get swept up in the hustle of daily life, ticking off tasks without even pausing to reflect on how they're feeling or why they're reacting the way they are. It may seem harmless, but in my opinion, a lack of self-awareness is one of the most damaging and limiting traits you can have. It holds you back in every area of your life. Not being able to step back and ask yourself, why am I reacting this way? Why did I even just blow up like that? Why do I keep repeating the same patterns? It leaves you stuck and powerless. So if you're watching this video, chances are you already have some level of self-awareness, or at least a desire to deepen it. But here's the key. To truly master your emotions, you need to become the curious observer of your own life. Stop judging or criticizing yourself. Simply observe your thoughts, feelings, and reactions with curiosity. You will never gain emotional mastery until you get comfortable with observing yourself. If you're not aware of the emotions, feelings, or reactions that are holding you back, you will never be able to break free from them. So let's talk about emotions, because mastering your emotions doesn't mean you don't feel them. In fact, here's the thing. To truly master your emotions, you have to allow yourself to feel them. It may seem counterintuitive, but the truth is, it's often those who are most disconnected from their emotions who end up being controlled by them. And you know the type, the person who suddenly snaps or reacts out of nowhere. That's because they've been pushing their emotions down, pushing them under the rug so long that eventually the emotional weight becomes too much to ignore. And when that happens, the emotions explode and they end up being controlled by them. We become controlled by our emotions when they reach a certain threshold. But if we let ourselves feel them as they arise, we wouldn't reach that breaking point. Mastery of our emotions involves self-regulation, acknowledging and honoring our emotions before they are built up to to a point where they take over. It's about being mindful and aware of what we feel and allowing ourselves to experience those emotions without letting them control us. Emotions are not irrational. They're not a sign of weakness. They are the subconscious mind communicating with us. When you suppress or ignore your emotions, you're ignoring important messages from within. You're blocking the natural sensations that your body needs to experience in order to heal or move forward. So the next step in emotional self-mastery, after developing self-awareness, it's to let yourself feel those emotions in an appropriate time and space. For example, a job interview wouldn't be the adequate time to be feeling an emotion over a recent breakup. Or at your child's birthday party might not be the adequate time to have a breakdown. This is where self-awareness plays a crucial role. When you notice emotions rising, you can assess whether it's the right time to fully express them. In certain situations, it's not always appropriate, and that's okay. Emotional self-mastery means knowing when to process your emotions and when to hold space for them. However, you do need to allow yourself to feel them. Feelings are how your body processes emotions, not just thinking about them, but truly experiencing them. There's a difference between intellectualizing your emotions and truly feeling them. For instance, you might cry, hit a pillow, shake your body, take a run, or talk to someone that you trust. These actions help you process and release the emotions, rather than letting them build up and eventually overwhelm you. When you take ownership of your emotions and allow them to be felt in a healthier way, you stay in control and your emotions won't control you. I know this from personal experience. When I was younger, I was far more reactive. I didn't allow myself to feel my emotions or connect with what was happening. I often felt like I didn't have anyone to talk to, but I now realize that if I did have someone to talk to, if I had simply allowed myself to feel and express my emotions, I would have been much more stable and secure. We all experience emotions. It's a natural part of being human. For emotional self-mastery, it's essential to allow yourself to feel your emotions, express them and observe them. Get curious about what they're telling you. What are these emotions trying to communicate? What can you learn from them? And most importantly, what needs to be released. However, there's an important distinction to make. It's crucial to feel your emotions. There comes a point only you can identify it, where you may cross the line of healthily expressing your feelings to staying stuck in them. Instead of processing and moving through those emotions, you might find yourself lingering in them, feeling overwhelmed, or continuing to re-experience that difficult emotional state repeatedly. There's a key difference between truly feeling your emotions and becoming entangled in them. So here's one simple way in navigating through them. When you need to express an emotion, you'll often feel it physically in your body. Perhaps a heaviness in your chest, a lump in your throat, or a surge of anger or fire building up inside. However, when you find yourself feeling stuck in your emotions, the feelings shift from your body to your mind. You're no longer just experiencing the emotion, you're thinking about it and dwelling on it, repeating it. What happens is then you keep that negative emotion alive. You're not processing or releasing it. You're keeping it in a loop. This is where self-awareness becomes so powerful. It's the first step to emotional mastery. You have to know when you're truly feeling your emotions and when you're becoming immersed in them, preventing yourself from moving forward. Feeling your emotions and expressing them is only part of the equation. Emotional self-mastery is about breaking free from the cycle of being stuck in those emotions and allowing them to flow through you rather than allowing them to hold you in place. Now let's dissect triggers. Nearly everyone has them, and how you respond to them says a lot about your ability to control emotions, life, and reactions. Your response will ultimately show you and everyone else around you how much control you have over yourself. This is what differentiates the reactive person from calm, composed, and centered individual. A trigger occurs when something happens or someone says something that sparks an immediate emotional reaction within you, usually a negative one. To others, it might not seem like a big deal, but to you, it feels overwhelming at the moment. You experience an immediate emotional reaction that feels much larger than the situation might warrant. So let's break it down to help you understand this. Let's say that you and your partner just had dinner. You come home from a night out and you're craving a little dessert. You open the freezer, you see the ice cream, and you grab it. And then he tells you, "Are you sure you want to eat that?" And instantly you feel anger arising and you snap at him, even after you just had a really nice dinner with him. And you yell at him saying like, "I can have whatever I want." But the reason he said this is because you had the same milk-based ice cream the previous night. And afterwards you spent hours telling him, complaining how much your stomach was upset because it was milk-based. You know this, but despite that, his comment still triggers you. You react react impulsively, almost as though your body took over at that moment. The reason triggers have such a strong impact on us and cause intense reactions is because they touch on a deeper, unhealed wound within us. The anger you felt over the dessert wasn't necessarily about his words, but rather something deeper. It stirred up memories and feelings related to the core wound, something unresolved from your past. Perhaps you have a memory of someone commenting on your weight in school, making you feel like you weren't good enough, or criticizing your food choices. These memories buried deep in your subconscious get triggered in moments like this one. So when your partner, with love and concern, asks if you're sure about that specific dessert, it doesn't remind you of a present situation. It brings up a past emotion of insecurity and control. Your trigger shows what's still unhealed within you. They reveal what you're still carrying with you, often from past wounds, and what's still influencing your emotional reaction. These wounds are sometimes rooted in childhood beliefs, but not always. The key is recognizing these triggers as opportunities for healing. Most of us carry at least one core wound, often stemming from childhood, and if left unhealed, it keeps resurfacing, causing us to still feel the same pain over and over again. It can control your emotions, actions, and reactions. Some common core wounds include feelings of not good enough, unlovable, rejected, abandoned, or perhaps feeling like you've never truly been heard. Another thing could be that your spouse told you that they would give you a call during their lunch break, but when the time came, they didn't. You might react by texting him repeatedly, calling him and getting upset, and the reason you reacted so intensely is not likely because of the missed call itself. It's because it triggered feelings of abandonment or rejection from a deeper place inside of you. That's why it's so important to understand your triggers. When we don't understand our emotional reactions, we let them control us. People who lack self-awareness or emotional intelligence often struggle to cope with their triggers. They're stuck in a cycle of reactive behavior. But here's the good news. When you heal those deeper wounds, your triggers no longer control you. The key to emotional mastery is recognizing when you're triggered, identifying the deeper connection to an unhealed wound, and then working to heal it. Over time, once those wounds are healed, the intensity of those triggers will lessen or disappear altogether. A trigger often sparks a secondary emotion, such as anger. Anger is like the tip of the iceberg, hiding deeper, more vulnerable emotions behind it, feeling like sadness, fear, or insecurity. Let's go back to the dessert. Underneath that anger is likely sadness or fear of feeling not good enough, or fear of judgment about your body. And interestingly, the people closest to us, our family, partners, or friends, are often the ones who can trigger us the most. Why? Because we crave love, approval, and validation from them the most. For instance, if a random person on the internet says something hurtful, it might sting, but you can move on. But if your partner or someone you care about says something, it can feel like a much deeper wound. So the point here is that triggers often stem from past experiences and memories, usually related to an old wound. It's not just about the present situation. It's about how your subconscious mind reacts to the old emotional experiences that haven't been healed. So you become controlled by your emotions when you avoid looking at them and refuse to connect with them. It's that disconnection from your emotions and deeper self that causes you to feel out of control. People who react impulsively often have difficulty looking within themselves to uncover what's really going on. If you're ready to start working through your triggers, insecurities, and emotional wounds, I have my reset bundle, which can guide you through the process. It helps you manage your triggers, conquer self-doubt, and achieve emotional mastery at your own pace. You can listen to the videos during your commute or set time aside to truly dive in, and you can find it linked down below. As you begin to master your emotions, you start noticing your triggers and recognizing them for what they are, and over time, those reactions will become less intense, and you'll be able to respond with calm, self-awareness, and confidence. Remember, it's not about suppressing your emotions, but being conscious of them so that you can take control of your reactions and maintain your power. That brings me to an important point. To truly master your emotions and cultivate a calm, composed presence, it's essential to distinguish between your feelings and your reactions. Mastering both your emotions and reactions is key to maintaining emotional control. Emotions are natural. They arise spontaneously, and we don't always have control of how we feel in the moment. However, your reactions, on the other hand, are a behavior. For the most part, your reactions are a choice. Just because you're feeling something doesn't mean you have to respond a certain way. Emotions in and of themselves are neither good or bad. It's how we respond to them that can shape our experience. Remember that emotions are temporary. They come and they go, like floating bubbles or passing cars, but the decisions that we make and the things that we say often have lasting consequences. So if you find yourself in a moment where you're not sure how you want to react and you're concerned about saying or doing something you might regret, it's okay to take a pause. That brief moment or silence can be incredibly powerful. Sometimes all you need is a few seconds, 5 minutes, or even a day to reflect before responding in a way that aligns with your true self. Reacting impulsively usually will not serve you well. Take your time, pause, and allow yourself the space to consider how you want to respond thoughtfully and consciously. Also, keeping in mind that not every action demands a reaction. Not every situation needs to be responded to, and you don't always need closure or to prove a point. Sometimes the desire to win or to be right can cost you inner peace. Your peace is where your power truly lies. It's not just about mastering your emotions, it's about mastering your reactions to those emotions. Recognizing the difference between the two will help you stay in control and aligned with your highest self. Now let's talk about letting go. An essential practice for emotional self-mastery. The next time that you feel left out, like maybe your girlfriends or your sister-in-laws went to brunch without inviting you, detach from the situation. Or if the person that you're currently dating won't commit, accept it. Maybe your spouse doesn't want to join you for mass. Release that expectation. Your company is letting people go. Let go of the need to control that situation. How often do you find yourself emotionally invested in things that are completely out of your control? Trying to control others can drain your energy and create unnecessary emotional turbulence. True peace and control comes when you allow others to be themselves. When you release the need to change or control people, they'll reveal their true selves. And when that happens and you gain clarity on what you need to do next, this clarity empowers you to make better choices for your own well-being. So detach from trying to change others and embrace the freedom that comes from accepting things as they are. When you try controlling everything, it can lead to emotional spiral, and you can't control everything. That's the reality. It's impossible. Detachment is a healthy way of practicing self-regulation. And I'll leave the video linked up here that dives more deeper into that. It means not forcing the outcome and allowing people to show up as they are. By embracing life's uncertainties, you become less emotionally reactive. So if your spouse suddenly doesn't want to be in a relationship with you anymore, release the attachment of the outcome. While it might hurt, ironically, you'll feel more in control of your life and empowered by letting go. If your mom thinks that starting that business is ridiculous and that it was a mistake leaving your corporate job, accept her perspective, but recognize that her thoughts are hers to hold, not yours. The resistance you feel to someone else's opinion or actions are often what causes emotional suffering. When people show who they truly are, accept that truth because it gives you the information you need to move on. Your peace is your power. The desire to always be right, to win, or to prove a point can drain you emotionally. Constantly trying to control everything or making sure things go your way takes away your peace. Release that desire and you'll reclaim your strength. I truly hope this video gave you valuable insights. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below and let me know how this message resonates with you. I'm excited to hear your perspective in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!